Scandal, corruption, and fraud might not be words that come to mind when you think of olive oil, but these are real problems in such a high-demand industry. You see, olive oil is slippery business. Olive oil is in such high demand around the world because science just keeps confirming what even the ancients knew, that it is one of the healthiest natural commodities on the planet. Profit-driven companies are taking full advantage of an ever-increasing demand, and they're doing everything they can to make a buck off of every last drop of olive oil, whether it's good or bad. Since today's theme is on fire, I thought that you might find it interesting that one of the oils that's sometimes refined for consumption is an oil that's called lampante. Lampante is the Italian word for lamp oil, which is deemed not fit for human consumption. And it's sold to you as extra virgin olive oil. The process of refining or deodorizing an oil involves taking rancid olive oil and boiling it with chemicals so that the putrid smells and the off flavors are burnt off. This process also burns out whatever healthy antioxidants may have remained in that oil. And as you may have noticed, the smoke point of this oil is so incredibly low because it's been subjected to this kind of treatment and heat. This is why so many people falsely believe that olive oil is not good for cooking. You know, there's lots of misleading hype in the oil industry. Meaningless words appear on labels such as cold pressed, or oils being labeled as extra virgin when they're really not. Even the fact that the packaging says that it's olive oil can't always be trusted. Some olive oils have been found to be tainted with canola oil and other filler oils. And big brands sometimes operate under their own ignorance of quality in their olive oil production, but more often than not, their profiteering relies completely on product adulteration, dishonest marketing, and the unsuspecting consumer. Despite the fact that the enemies of olive oil are heat, light, oxygen, and time, the saga of many olive oil brands goes like this. The grower wants to make some money, so he'll let the olives over-ripen to get a higher yield, and he might even press them a second time. The olive oil is already subpar at this point. Next, somebody buys the bulk of the olive oil and they sell it to exporters, who break it down and they sell it to brokers, who sell portions to a series of middlemen. All along the way, this oil sits in warehouses and semis without temperature controls. The oil is then deodorized with heat and chemicals before being put into clear glass bottles, which sit under fluorescent lights 24/7 on supermarket shelves for who knows how long, until you buy it. Because the label says extra virgin olive oil, and it has a picture and the autograph of your favorite celebrity chef. Now, don't let all of this scare you away from olive oil. Olive oil is good for you. There are, however, many important variables in ensuring that the olive oil that you're consuming is the good stuff. It starts with the growing and the harvesting of olives, and it involves everything that happens to the oil until it gets in your hands. Freshness is key. Olive oil is essentially a fresh fruit juice with its own natural preservatives. The final important factor is that you, the consumer, know how to identify authentic, fresh, extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil is grown in many places around the world. Some people falsely believe that olive oil only comes from a certain region. Good olive oil only comes from a certain region. People would argue that that's Italy. Maybe it's Greece. Others would argue that only good oil comes from California. But in actuality, it's ideal to source from both the northern and the southern hemispheres. That's because the harvests are about 6 months apart, and that ensures that you've got a continuous supply of fresh olive oil. What's important also is that the olives are picked at the proper state of ripeness, and then they're pressed within a few short hours of harvesting. Then the oil should be kept in that bulk for as long as possible, as each breakdown potentially exposes it to more and more oxygen. You know, olive oil expiration dates are pretty much pointless. Instead, the crush date should be provided. Most big brand olive oil companies would never put this date of the crush on their bottle. It's the kiss of death for their product. And the oil should be bottled for purchase in UV light-proof bottles. You see, with olive oil, product transparency is incredibly important. The best purveyors will actually list the varietal of olive, the country of origin, the date of crush, and maybe even the olive oil chemistry. They'll also show you how to do your own sensory evaluation of the olive oils. This helps you to find olive oils that you like, and it keeps things honest. You know the quality of the oils before you purchase them, and you can even monitor their quality once you get them home. So what I'm hoping that you take away from this today is that olive oil is incredibly healthy for you, but in its fresh and authentic state. Don't fall for the marketing hype or the big brand fraud. Once you've tasted the real deal, it's hard to fall for subpar oil. Find a purveyor that can tell you where the oil is from and how it's produced. Better yet, find one that'll actually let you taste it and smell it before you buy it. With olive oil, the old adage is true. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Thank you.